Yo, so Ant-Man is underrated. Let's get into the video, man. So look, man, before I even get into this, I just want to say that this is not for the whale, the valiant player. This is just more so for the casual player that pulls an Ant-Man and is like, oh, he's not that good, because I don't see any of the top end streamers or video creators or YouTubers using him. But that is exactly wrong, man. Ant-Man is goated. He is very capable on offense and he's very capable defensively, man. As far as the science goes, he's not the biggest damage dealer. Not the biggest damage dealer, you know what I'm saying? We'll just put that out there. But as far as reliability, as far as consistent DOT, damage over time, he has it. He has it, man. He has everything that you would want in a science character. So before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, man. You smashed the last video. So let's just keep this energy, let's just keep this momentum going, man. Once again, I appreciate all the love from this channel. Let's get into the video. So you just pulled an Ant-Man and you came here to see if he's good. I got you, man. The first thing is his signature ability. It's nice, but it's not needed at all. It just keeps his debuffs paused and makes him a little bit easier to use. So whenever Ant-Man glances an attack, he has a 50% chance to inflict a fatigue debuff, lowering the opponent's crit rate by 1456.9 for 15 seconds. So this is definitely where the defense comes in on having him awaken. Now, whenever Ant-Man gains a Pim particle, he pauses the duration of any personal fatigue, poison, or power sting debuff on the opponent for 3.05 seconds. Now, this is where the offensive utility comes in on having him awaken and makes him reliable in keeping the debuffs paused. So let's get into it, man. Ant-Man is immune to poison and shock effects, and you know what that means, boys. That basically means that Beta Ray Bill can't even take down Ant-Man. I'm joking. Beta Ray Bill's nice. We love him. He's the new guy. But anyways, with Ant-Man, I'm not going to get into his power stings just yet. I'm going to showcase that a little bit later. But the one interesting thing I did see that I didn't know was that while under the effects of personal unsteady debuffs, Ant-Man cannot miss his opponents. That's pretty fire that he can bypass miss like that. So as far as the special attacks go, I'm not really going to read them to you. I'm just going to show them to you. It's way easier for me to show you than explain it. But if you ever need to use the special attack 3, it inflicts a petrify debuff, reduces the opponent's power gain and regeneration by 10% for 20 seconds. Let's get into the gameplay. You know what I'm saying? I think we're all ready for that. Let's get into the gameplay. So Ant-Man's whole kit is based off of him getting Pim particles. Now, how do you get Pim particles? Well, the first way is by dexing. Every time you dex, you receive a Pim particle. Also, you want to make sure that you are dexing the specials of the opponents. Every time you dex the specials of the opponents, you also gain Pim particles. You also will gain 3 Pim particles when you use a special attack 1. Along with this, you also place 4 fatigue debuffs on the opponent. This is going to be used to transfer into poisons a little bit later. Stick with me, I'll get into that. So now at this point, you want to use another SP1. For shorter fights, 2 SP1s is just enough. For longer fights, you want to build up to 12 fatigues and use 3 SP1s. So now, after you've done this, after you've gotten your fatigues, rush to the SP2. Now that we're at a SP2, we're ready to use it. Use the SP2, boom, the fatigues now convert to poisons. Now you're like, oh my god, I'm doing so much damage. How do I keep the poisons going, Dread? How do I keep them? The first way is by countering heavy. As you see right here, once you counter a heavy, you will refresh the duration of poisons. The second way to do it is by intercepting, like you just saw right here. Every time you intercept, you also refresh the duration of poisons. So now you have the fight completely under control. You just want to make sure you keep gaining Pim particles, because every time that you refresh the duration of poisons, you spend 1 Pim particle. So you don't want to be in a situation where you have no Pim particles and you really need to refresh those poisons and they run out. You know what I'm saying? So what I failed to mention was that on special attacks, you place an unsteady debuff lasting 15 seconds. And unsteady basically allows you to glance incoming attacks. And if you use a heavy attack, you will spend 3 Pim particles to place a power sting on the opponent. So that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much the rotation. Let's get into some more gameplay. So I took him into Labyrinth of Legends, and this showcases to really show how long you can keep this up, how long you can keep the poisons just going. So I eventually ended up dying at the very end of this video, but nah, this is just to showcase just how sustainable, how reliable his refreshes on the poisons are. So we're just gonna speed up all the way until we get up to 12 fatigues. So we're ready to crank that SB2. So yeah, man. Now we're in striking distance. Now we are building up to the SB2, vibing out, you know what I'm saying? He's being a little bit passive. We hate that in Labyrinth of Legends, but you know, it's Labyrinth of Legends. It's the current state of AI in MCOC. So now we're getting ready to crank that SB2. And watch this, man. He uses a heavy, we use the SB2, boom. Poison's going crazy. Now taking for 4,600 and I believe 76. Yeah, 4,676 damage per tick, man. And we're just gonna speed it up just to show you. Like I said, we refresh heavies. We're just gonna keep this going. Keep it going. He's still ticking. He's still ticking. At this point, my fingers are getting tired. He's still ticking. Still ticking. Use the SB3. I'm getting bored. It's still ticking, man. We're still refreshing. Use another SB3. Alerts popping up on the phone. We don't care, man. He's just melting away, and I finally die. So nah, that's just to show you how sustainable that is. So next we take him to Grandmaster's Gauntlet against Doom, Dr. Doom. And the cool thing about this fight is you really get to see why the signature ability is important and how it really can prolong a fight. So the annoying thing about this fight is that on the node it's bubble shield and size matters, so you want to make sure that you're just using heavy, otherwise you'll just glance and take a whole bunch of damage back. So if you're doing the Karina challenge, the Avenger Karina challenge, and you need options for this fight, he's definitely an option, a great option for this fight. We're just going to speed up a little bit and get to an SB2 just so you could see how his signature ability actually ends up saving me. So we crank the SB2, poisons apply, he's taking for 2,000. And now it's kind of tricky because we're at 29% health. We're like, man, we need to either take some hit or like take some block damage or just intercept or whatever. But the cool thing about the signature ability is every time that you gain a pin particle, you pause the duration of poison. So we're just going to speed up a little bit so you can see this actually take full effect. So now I'm just dexing and the poisons are paused, completely paused. So this is all I'm going to do for the rest of the fight. I'm just going to dex. He's not going to touch me. I'm not going to touch him. I'm just going to let him melt casually away. Bye-bye, Dr. Doom. Bye-bye, Robert Downey Jr. You know what I'm saying? So for the rest of this fight, you're just going to see me dex. And that's pretty much the showcase, man. I mean, Ant-Man he's good. He's not bad. He's not the best. Like I said, he's not the best. He's not Titania. He's not the Hulk. But he is sustainable, man. He can do content. He can do in-game content. If you have him in your roster, you definitely use him. You know what I'm saying? He's also reliable on defense, man. Defensively, he can place unsteady debuffs on the opponent, and it's going to be a very hard time critting. It's going to prolong the fight tremendously in Battlegrounds matches. So just take that into consideration when you do pull an Ant-Man, when you do have an Ant-Man in your roster. Take that in full consideration, man, that he's underrated, man. He's not bad. You could use him and he can clear fights. So that is Ant-Man. Definitely underrated, definitely usable, definitely, you know, has a lot of good utility and also has some defensive, you know, utility as well. So if you like the video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment, all that good stuff. More videos like this on the way very soon. And yeah, let's keep killing it, man. I am out. Peace.